You need to go and watch that episode if you didn't watch it. If you saw the way Tanya was packing like a thief, okay? Packing like a thief in the night. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Happy Sunday, happy new week, happy new videos. Thankfully, today's episode gave us a bit, okay? 40 minutes into it was just Shaq and Tanya, Shaq and Tanya, Shaq and Tanya. But we do know that Casa Amor is officially here. Before we get started, guys, excuse my wig and also my makeup. I literally done my makeup this morning at what? 8 a.m. So my face is tired. After this review, I'm taking off this wig because the frontal is doing what frontals does best. Okay, so please ignore and also ignore my face. But we have a review to film. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and defo join the family. I think we're around halfway into the season maybe, so if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, as I usually and always say, please to get cozy and comfy with a hot Ribena and some snacks, and let us get into this review. So let us start. Why did I smack my lips like that? Anyway, yeah. Let's start off with Tom and Sammy. They were of course speaking about how much being in a bottom three pretty much low-key like affected them, i.e. like they weren't really worried about leaving the villa because they feel like they found one another, and it's also opened their eyes once again to them actually liking each other on a much deeper level. I don't really have much to say about that, only other than the fact that, guys, I hate that I'm actually about to say this, guys, why is Tom growing on me? I hope I'm okay. And I hope if Tom is also growing on you as well, you're okay too. Tom is low-key growing on me, but I cannot allow him to grow on me because I shall not forget, okay? I shall not forget what he done. But I like Sammy, I'll be honest with you. I do really like Sammy in the villa. We can briefly move on to Lana, Ron and Tanya speaking. It was initially Lana and Tanya, and then Ron came and was just like, you know, I'm just so glad that you're still here, and then they shared a kiss or whatever. Like I said, I don't think I'll ever be here for the Lana and Ron redemption arc. If you are on that train, that's fine. You guys know, different opinions, different views, it's fine, we're all human. But for me, they just don't really give too tough. We can, of course, also move on to Shaq, Will and Jesse. He was saying that it is really hard for him to deal with this entire situation, i.e. the whole Tanya telling him, sorry, that he reminds her of her ex. I'm not surprised. I already told you guys what I thought about that in, I believe it was Friday's review or possibly even Thursday's as well. If you told me that I remind you of your ex, I can become your next one. Okay, and I know when you like someone, you argue, some things may come out, but you need to just be careful some of the things that you say. No one anywhere wants to hear that you remind them of their ex, because clearly that ex is an ex for a reason. So you telling me that we are also going to go down that exact same journey and line as well. But at the same time, I wasn't really pleased with how Shaq spoke to Tanya in Friday's episode. So you guys already know, I did a poll on my community tab on YouTube to figure out who did you guys think was in the wrong. Was it Tanya, was it Shaq, was it both of them? I think both of them do have their flaws. Both of them are definitely very stubborn, and I do think that's why they clash and bump heads quite a lot. But I do know for a fact that ex comment for me is just, yeah, like, if you told me that, what on earth makes you think I'm going to want to speak to you? You know, do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, okay? Let me know what you think down below. We can briefly move on to Claudia and Casey kissing. She said that she's really happy, and so did Casey. Happy for Casey, and I guess for Claudia as well. For me, Claudia doesn't really give. Maybe it's because the producers just aren't showing us enough of her scenes, but I don't know. I feel like she comes across as being quite boring, but her and Casey seem to really like each other. But it's definitely early days. I think it's only been a day or two since Claudia has been in the villa, so definitely early days. Let's move on to Tanya now telling Tom. What was so funny was, even when Tanya went to go and speak with Tom, Sammy was just like, yeah, I've heard this 3 times, so I'm just going to excuse myself, which is something Lana should have done. When Tanya was initially pulling Shaq up on his nonsense, Lana should have read the room just like Sammy did and got up, but instead sis decided to sit there like bread. But of course, Tanya was telling Tom about the entire situation. Once again, I do feel like the problem with Tanya and Shaq, even though they've now resolved it, which we're going to get into shortly, is they were just too busy speaking to other individuals and other couples about their problems rather than them speaking to each other. So the friction, the tension, oh my gosh, the tension in the villa. You know when you look at something and you cringe even though you're not them, aka secondhand embarrassment? That's what I felt, because it's just like you guys keep going to speak to other people about your problems when you actually just need to speak to each other directly. But yeah, you guys already know how I feel about the whole ex comment, so that's just that. Of course, Tom did also end up going to speak to Shaq about it, and Shaq did say, you know, I think it's best that I'm going to sleep on it. You know, I really, really, really do love her, but I can't get over the ex comment. Like I said, guys, Tom is growing on me. Tom is growing on me. I do feel like Tom actually did give him, at first he was soaking in gist, to be honest, but I do feel like Tom did actually give him good advice as well, sorry, that, you know, yeah, sleep on it, you know, you guys clearly like each other, you just need to hash things out. Like I said, the tension in the villa was so awkward. They were walking past each other in the kitchen, were not even batting an eye to one another, weren't even speaking to anyone else other than, no, weren't even speaking to each other. Yeah, weren't even speaking to each other or speaking to others, and everyone else in the villa also noticed this tension as well. So there was a lot, but to be honest, I feel like I would have expected the storyline to have been wrapped up by today / yesterday, not yesterday, sorry, Friday, or the beginning of today's episode. I mean, even the following day we woke up, the conversation was still topic of the villa, like, wrap it up, do you know what I mean? Like, where's Casa Amor? At this point, we're at least a good 20 minutes in. We're not seeing the new contestants yet, and you guys promised us Casa Amor today. So where was Casa Amor? Thank you very much. Of course, ended up being nighttime, and I do have to give my kudos to Shaq and Tanya because this was the first night that they were able to sleep. Okay, they were actually able to sleep. Usually, while they're sleeping, whilst everyone else is sleeping, sorry, they're doing smoochy, interesting activities under the cover, but we thank God they were able to have a good night's rest. Now let's move on to the following morning. We can briefly speak about the boys and the girls chat. I do let you guys know sometimes these morning debriefs are just a tad boring, just a smidge. But in regards to the boys, Kai was saying that him and Olivia's relationship would have continued on the outside. You guys know that Kai and Olivia were also in the bottom 3, rated as the least compatible. We're going to get into them shortly because I can see clearly from today's episode that Olivia is still living in La La Land. Okay, she's still living in La La Land. Shaq once again bringing up the ex comment. Have a convo with Tanya and wrap it up. We're tired, we are bored. Tom was saying that he's happy that he met Sammy. Will was saying that he's actually worried that he likes Jessie more. You guys already know I'm a bit half and half with Jessie. I think she seems like a very lovely and a sweet girl, but she's definitely played this Love Island game before, so I just wonder, not that she doesn't like Will, because if she didn't like Will, would she have gone to the extremes of what she done with Will? I don't think so, because it is never that deep. But I don't know. But apparently I did tweet, if I did make a tweet, sorry, asking, you know, does anyone know she's staying, because she's Australian, so she's planning to stay in the UK, what exactly is happening? And apparently someone told me that I think she told Casey that she's planning to move to Chelsea, so I guess she's trying to get settled in the UK. We can briefly move on to the girls. Just going to talk about one thing, which is Tanya. Tanya said, you know, just because I love him doesn't mean I won't leave that situation. It is what it is, okay? I do feel like Tanya, and a lot of people, sorry, have actually been saying this as well. They feel like Tanya doesn't really like Shaq as much, so she's looking for any single opportunity to opt out of that. But for her to boldly say, like, yeah, just because I love him doesn't mean I won't leave the situation, just kind of lets me know where Tanya's head is at, okay, with this entire situation. Let's move on to Kai and Olivia. Like I said, definitely let me know that Olivia is still living in cuckoo land. So of course Kai and Olivia were also voted as one of the least compatible couples, and she was just like, oh, I'm just really shocked that we were chosen other than Casey and Claudia, because like, how can you establish 2 days over 2 weeks? Should I really answer that question for her? Because she's making it seem as if the villa had to vote. No, the public had to vote, and we said what we said. We think you are Kai are one of the least compatible couples in the villa. I mean, why is that so hard for you to fathom and also believe and also get? She'll get. Do you get where I'm coming from? You can't now be speaking to Kai like, I just don't get. You don't have to get it. We get it because we're watching you, and we think you are one of the least compatible couples in that villa. Okay, all right. Let's move on to Shaq pulling Tanya for a chat. Finally, they were hashing out this entire situation. And what was quite cute, which I thought was quite nice, was even before they had the chat, Shaq was just very clear and just said, you know what, I want us to both go into this conversation with an open mind. Tanya said that she doesn't like him in everyone else's business. She feels like he's too involved. And you guys already know we feel the same way as well. Is it Shaq or is it Shakira? You're too involved in everybody's business. You need to mind and watch your own. But Shaq was also letting her know as well. That ex comment for me literally threw me all the way off. Okay, you don't say stuff like that to me. And he also did say, you know, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but I'll try and of course be a better man for you. Tanya, of course, ended up smiling, which is so annoying. Okay, it's so annoying when you really like someone, and I get it, you really like someone, you're trying to stay mad for long, but you can't because you like them, so you end up smiling. But I guess they ended up hashing out the situation. Like I said, I just wanted it all to be wrapped up, but unfortunately it wasn't wrapped up because Tanya decided to go and speak to Olivia again regarding it, and then Will decided to speak to Shaq regarding it as well. You guys know this, right? I told you I had my ticket for the Shamio train. Yeah, I bought the ticket, okay? Had I jumped on the train, I didn't do that one just yet. And I think today's episode showed me why it was good that I stayed at my stop, okay? And I didn't jump on that train. Yeah, for now, okay? Like I said, things can change, but right now, if Shaq's head turns and Tanya's head turns, then it was honestly just not meant to be. Like, truthfully, wasn't meant to be. Now, let's move on to the girls getting ready. Of course, they ended up getting a text that it is Casa Amor time. Finally. We've been waiting for Casa. I think we're currently on episode 23 or 24 right now. So this is the perfect time. But what was quite sad was, of course, we watched 40 minutes of conversations on the loop on rotation. But Casa Amor, finally, it was here. I actually had to scream. Okay, I definitely screamed because Claudia, of course, who is now Casey, was like, oh my gosh, it's too soon. And Tanya said it's never too soon. Like, she will, if you, you need to go and watch that episode if you didn't watch it. If you saw the way Tanya was packing like a thief, okay, packing like a thief in the night. Sis said this suitcase is getting packed today. She was just grabbing. So I feel like Tanya's excitement for me, number one, was the most excited I've ever seen her in the villa. But also number two, let me know that sis is ready for the doors to be opened and to be to be freed from the shackles of Shaq. Okay, no pun intended. One thing the producers need to be arrested for, though, is the fact that the girls literally ran to Casa Amor in their towel. Could you not have at least let them get dressed? I think the rest of the girls were wearing robes, but Sammy was literally in her towel, as in Pantan bra. But we thank God that Casa Amor is finally here. Of course, the girls are getting ready for their first night, having a few conversations in the new makeup room. I don't really have much to say other than the fact that Olivia said that she would never turn her head because she will never say she won't turn her head because she likes to live up to her words. Yeah, no, not too sure what she means by that. Yeah. I'm not too sure what she means by that because, yeah, you guys already know. I feel like Olivia says one thing and does the other. It's like the whole situation with speaking to the girls, and she was just like, oh, was it Tanya? Yeah, when she was speaking to Tanya, and she was just like, oh, yeah, like, I just don't like this whole conversations behind, the girls' backs. But that's exactly what you were doing. So, Olivia, very interesting. Will be very interesting to see if her head turns. Of course, at the main villa, the guys also ended up getting a text about Casa Amor, and they were told that they had to now pack the girls a suitcase. One thing that I do have to flag up was the fact that they were writing messages with lipstick. Lipstick is not cheap, especially if you're buying the expensive. Lipstick is not £1-2 anymore, babe. We're talking £24 and up. Okay, 18 on a good day. Rimmel, you're looking at a good £6. Either way, it's not 1p, which means it's not cheap. They were literally writing messages with their lipstick for the girls. Very interesting. But I also did mention on Twitter as well, do you guys remember last season when Danny packed his ring for India and we thought India couldn't find it in the suitcase and we were ready? Okay, we were all ready to go to war, find them where they are and locate that ring. Thankfully, she ended up finding it, but shout out to Danny and India. You guys know we love them on this channel. Of course, back at Casa, the girls also get it. Guys, my tongue is literally so twisted. I need to eat, take off my makeup, take off this wig and sleep. But anyway, the girls ended up getting a text about the new guys coming in. It's going to take a while to get used to all of their names, but I did write down some of their names and also some comments that I clearly have. Ryan, 22, tall, ginger. Can't believe he's 22. I believe he worked in the Navy. Good looking guy. Can't believe he's 22. Like, guys, that guy does not look 22 at all. Of course, we also have Martin, who is Dami 2.0. Guys, you know when they initially released the images of the new people for Casa Amor? It's almost like Dami decided to reincarnate himself to enter this villa again. This guy is even down to him being from Ireland. These producers, Dami 2.0. We have Kane, who is Kai 2.0. Cain is a very interesting name. If you're biblical, at least, you know the story of Cain and Abel. Very interesting, okay? very interesting. We also have Maxwell as well. You know what? Do you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm just actually going to go on the Love Island. Let me just go on the Love Island Twitter page. And I'm going to give my first impressions just based on it. Because I don't actually remember the names of the faces now that I'm thinking about it. And that's because we have a lot of people that are currently in the villa. So let me just go on Love Island quickly. And I'll be able to give my first impressions. Perfect. All right. So Martin, Dami 2.0. There is no ifs or buts about it. We have Ryan, like I said, tall, ginger, very handsome. Still cannot believe he's 22. We have Frankie. I believe he's from London. I don't see him. Oh gosh, my legs. Sorry guys, my legs are numb. I think I already addressed this in one video as well because someone was like, oh, they're worried about my legs always getting numb. I promise you I'm fine. It's just because of my positioning on the floor and how I cross my legs. But Frankie, I don't see him coupling up with anyone just yet, if I'll be honest with you. Maxwell, oh, he's got great eyes. Okay. He cool. You know what I'm saying? Not my type, but he cool. He's definitely cool. We also have Bailey. I can't forget this guy because he literally has lion, cat, dog, giraffe, gorilla, just animal tattoos everywhere. But Bailey, he seemed very confident and he essentially said nobody is off limits. And then of course I already mentioned Kane. Kane is Ron 2.0. He definitely gives me Ron vibes. Like I said, that name Kane, very interesting. Okay, very interesting and also very telling, but let's see how things go. Of course, we did get a small glimpse of tomorrow night in which we are going to meet the girls. We did already have a first glimpse of them, but I will also give my first impressions for them in tomorrow's video because that's when we're really going to get to see them face to face. Other than that, it was an okay-ish episode to the beginning of the week. I feel like the Shaq and Tanya situ could have definitely been wrapped up much earlier, but it's fine. I'm very happy that Casa Amor is finally here. Okay, this season has been given a lot for a lot of people. I've been telling you guys last week that if this season does not improve, these reviews are going to get harder and harder to film. As much as I love filming them, it's going to get hard. So I'm very happy that Casa Amor is here, and I'm hoping that Casa Amor this year comes with carnage. Okay, we need it to deliver, we need it to give, we just need things to go out of the way so that things can come in the way and we can be entertained, because that's what this is all about. But yeah, guys, I'd love to know what you guys did actually think of that episode down below. It's a Sunday, so we know this is the start of a brand new week with daily reviews as always. So as I usually and always say, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. But other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please do take care. Here's to another week, honey. Make sure you stick around as always. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I love you so much and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.